I know your brother better than Savita does. He's my English lecturer, and she's only met him once before today.
From filming in India to the hustle and bustle of a busy press junket in Liverpool. To celebrate one of the longest books in English history being brought to life by the BBC, and for the first time featuring an all-Indian cast.
How can she be so happy?
Lata is, I would say, very adventurous in her love life. She goes through a phase of wanting to run away from her home with her lover, the first lover that she finds, Kabir, who is a love interest from her university.
Set in the 50s, it's a mother's search to find her 19-year-old daughter a suitable husband.
Back in the day, 1950s India, marriage was so important. Do you think it's as important now, or do you think that's changed?
I think it's still very important, especially in India, and I think the tag is not as important now as it was back in the day, because everything had to be labelled. Like, oh, you can't be just going out with this boy because what will other people say?
May I ask your name?
Lata.
Aren't you going to ask me mine?
No.
This may be Tanya's on-screen debut, but with over 100 films to her name, Bollywood fans will recognise a very familiar face.
It was entirely my pleasure. If I can, steal this answer from... It was incredible. I mean, like, you dream of something like that.
Aaiye, Dak Sahab. How did you come?
My feet just carried me to you.
These are fine clothes to risk in the dust.
Through the eyes of characters like Man and Sayeedabai, the drama portrays a newly post-partitioned India, where love between different religions isn't easy and political tensions are high.
There is no similarity between this world and the world of the other characters that you see in the show. She's a courtesan. He comes from a very respectable family. So there's no way that they can have a future together.
Family really is priority, and family really is where all your value system comes from.
This is a drama about Indians telling their history, the important story of a nation and a young woman together finding their voice. Monika Plaha, BBC News.
Lovely to be joined from New York by the director of the series, Mira Nair. Morning to you. Well, not morning where you are, but thank you very much indeed for joining us. I mean, this is an epic to put on the telly, isn't it? It's 1,300 words, the book. How do you even start with that?
Pages.
Yeah, pages, pages.
Well, it's a great modern classic, Vikram Seth's A Suitable Boy, and I actually was one of those people who devoured it when it was published in the in the 90s. So it's a human, funny, sexy political chronicle of really a modern India, an India post after freedom, but an India still getting over the embers of partition of a country of Hindu and Muslim. And it's set in a time in 1951, the year my parents got married, the year actually I wished I was born in a way, because it was the time that we were making our country. And we have a strong and ancient culture, but we were still possessed by the English in our minds in some ways, and it was about how we were finding ourselves really post this freedom. And it's very much, I think, a timely tale as well, because at its heart it's a universal tale about how we find love and how we find out who we are. And this time it takes us through with Lata, a 20-year-old whose mother is determined to find her a suitable boy. But it is, for me, a much more a portrait of our country and our people, not just about finding the right suitor.
It's eagerly anticipated. It starts this Sunday on BBC One, and we've done it ourselves here this morning. A lot of the talk in the build-up has been about the cast and the fact that it's a first all non-white cast on the BBC. Do you think that some of that attention has detracted from the story itself? How does that make you feel?
Well, I think it's a very English way of looking at it, a drama full of color, you know. The story is about us. The story is not, you know, that is what, so it has to be an Indian cast. You know, that's for me vital. And for me as a director and as a filmmaker, it was absolutely important that we filmed on location. Every single shot of A Suitable Boy is a shot across northern India. Vikram Seth made this fictional town called Brahmpur, which really is an amalgam of Lucknow, of Banaras, of Kanpur, and we really filmed on all those places. And that, the reality, the fact of the authenticity of this extraordinary cornucopia, really, of performance and acting, you know, more than 110 actors all across the Indian subcontinent. You know, living a reality that is close to us, made it all for a very authentic piece. And in my work, from Salam Bombay to Monsoon Wedding to, you know, everything, a lot of things that I've done, that type of authenticity, that throb of truth and fun too, it's a whole lot of humor, is very important to me. And I would not have made it any way differently.
And tell us about the actors, because you've got a whole range, haven't you, of newcomers to very well-known actors as well.
Yes, we have, of course, at the center of it was the legendary living Tabu legend, we call her living legend, who was in my other film, The Namesake, and The Life of Pi, and several international films as well. But Tabu is the quintessential actor, you know, with great amount of mystery and enigma and incredible charm, you know, to play Saida Bai, the courtesan at the heart of A Suitable Boy. We also have Ishaan Khatter, who's a rising star in our part of the world and soon be in the rest of the world, to play the bad boy Man. Extraordinary charm and electricity there between them. And then the lovely Tanya, Maniktala, I must have looked at for 500 young women to play Lata. I call Tanya a dewdrop in action. She has that quality of someone who is full of, you know, feistiness and intelligence, but has not yet seen the world, has not yet experienced love. And to go through this story with Tanya as Lata is a very beautiful thing, because she truly is someone who is not yet fettered and ruined by the world. She looks.
It sounds wonderful.
You know, yeah.
We're going to have to leave it there. It's absolutely fantastic to speak to you. I was one of the others who read the 1,300 pages of the book. Wonderful. A Suitable Boy starts on BBC One Sunday at 9 p.m.
The challenge of getting a big book into 6 TV programmes.